Alright, what is good, ladies and gentlemen? It is the Mass Ranker back again with another ranking, and tonight we are doing a ranking for the Inside Job characters. This is a re-recording because my computer for some reason just died in the middle of the recording. It didn't run out of battery, we ran into a problem, so we're restarting it. So luckily I didn't get too far into it. I got to up to bread here, and then that happened. So yeah, but anyway, we are doing the ranking for the Inside Job characters now that I finished rewatching the show and I got my review out. So yeah, as usual, let's just get into it. I did include Keanu because this is a pre-made tier list, but for some reason I didn't include Keanu Reeves, but he was a pretty big part of the one episode that he was in, so I did include him. Yeah, so let's just get into it, starting off with Barrow, who I would give D/F tier. I didn't really care for him. He was the antagonist, I guess, of the finale of season 1, but it was really shallow. He just he misunderstood his directive. He was okay, I need to make Reagan's life better. Reagan is unhappy with work, therefore I need to take down the deep state in order for Reagan to lose her job so that she'll have a better work-life balance when she gets a different job or something. I didn't like it. He doesn't look that intimidating or anything, so just overall I did not care for him as a character or a villain, so D/F tier. Buzz Aldrin, also D/F tier. I did not care for him. By the way, we're doing side style except for D/F tier, which I don't give a crap enough to put in effort, so we're just gonna do group style for that. So Buzz Aldrin, there's a lot of celebrity cameos and famous people cameos in this show, and because of that, when there is one, it doesn't feel that special. So it's unless they're it's a really good cameo, I guess I just don't really care that much if it's I don't know, his whole thing as well was the episode with him was that he felt disrespected by the people of Earth. He thinks that the people of the moon, the moon itself is better than Earth, so his goal was to just cause the moon to leave the Earth's orbit in order for the moon to be able to survive on their own, and then the Earth would be destroyed because he I don't know, feel he's a moon supremacist or something like that. So yeah, so I don't care for him. D/F tier. Brett, I would give A tier. I thought that he was one of the best characters of the show. He's very entertaining. His voice actor did a great job, and overall his character is just very optimistic and happy and stuff. And yeah, overall just his entire character, personality trait, anything that he's doing related to yeah, just overall, just I like this character. I liked all the episodes with him, and he was a good character overall. Yeah, so A tier. Cthulhu, this is not even a character. This is just you can see here, this was Cthulhu that was in the episode. He was in a portrait in an episode in JR's office, and so you don't even see Cthulhu. I think he's mentioned another time towards the end of season 2, but yeah, overall, just I don't care for Cthulhu. He's not even a character, so D/F tier. This guy, he was the, I forgot his name, but he is the, I don't care enough to look up their names. This guy was the head of the Illuminati, and he had he was in one episode basically, which was the start of season 1 with the Bohemian Grove, that whole thing, and he had it was good, I guess the rivalry he had with Rand, and it was kind of funny some of the antics that end up coming up from that when he ends up making out with Rand. I thought that was pretty funny, and yeah, but overall he's not that memorable. He's in the one episode, and that's kind of it, and it was just so I don't know, he wasn't D/F tier, but he's just not memorable enough to be any higher, so I'm just gonna put him in C tier. This guy, I don't care for him either. D/F tier. He just once again, so many of these characters, they show up for one episode and that's it, so which is fine, but just most of them don't leave enough of an impact for me to rank them any higher. So this guy was just the rival of the spy dude that was where's he is this guy, I forgot his name. It was I forgot, Rafe something. So this was just a villain dude. He showed up I think he was barely in the episode. He gets defeated really quickly by the spy, and then he shows up towards the end in order for to be his rival again. So he doesn't really do anything in the episode. He just kind of is there. So don't care for him. D/F tier. Gigi, I will give her, I didn't really like her that much, to be honest. I would give her, I guess, I'll give her C tier, I guess, above this dude. She was fine. Her whole thing was she's the media manipulation person, so I don't know, I don't remember any, she didn't really have, I thought out of the gang, I thought Glenn and Andre were the most, their personalities were the most entertaining. I guess her thing was just, I don't know, she wanted to be in the Illuminati, and she just wanted to be head of the Illuminati, which I didn't find too interesting, so C tier. Glenn, I'm going to give Glenn A tier as well, and I think I will put him, was he better than Brett? Maybe, honestly, and you know what, fine, I'll give him, I'm going to say he's better than Brett. I did think that he was great. He was very entertaining. All of the stuff with the military aspects of him, all this stuff where he would say well, we can't nuke this place for fun and stuff. I thought overall he had great jokes, and his personality was also very fun to watch, and so I would say, yeah, top of A tier. Grassy Knoll, I'm going to give D/F tier. I don't care for him. Once again, he's just he's apparently the one that shot JFK, so they didn't go with Lee Harvey Oswald, so they went with this dude Noel. I think his name was Noel Atkinson, something like that. So Yeah, he was in like the I think the second episode where he ends up yeah, I think it was the second one. It was the one where it's like the JFKs get cloned and stuff, which was the first episode. No, sorry, not the first episode. The second episode, yeah, the first episode was I forgot what the first episode was. It was when let me see here. It is when Brett ends up joining the team, and I don't remember what happened in the first episode, so I will get back to that. This was the one that ran the part that he was the head of the flat earthers and stuff, and once again, just don't care for him. One episode he shows up and that's it, and he's just not that memorable. He just like was a flat earther that wanted to see the flat earth that didn't exist. Tomiko, I would give her I'd go like D tier. Again, she's just like not a great mother and stuff, so don't care for either. Honestly, a lot of these characters are not that great except for the main cast. Jeff Bezos, another just, he shows up for like the one episode of Tomiko's wedding and that's it. And yeah, he's not that memorable after that. JR, I would give JR like, I'll go like B tier. He was fine in the first season as like the one in charge and stuff, and then in the second season, he's not as prominent, but he still is kind of here and there, I guess. So I'll give him like B tier. He is like somewhat entertaining. Duplicate, I would give her D/F tier. Once again, just don't care for her. She's like the head of the cloning department, and she is the one that I don't know, she just runs the cloning department. That's it. Don't care for her. Mike, I would give him like A tier. I'd say A tier. I would give him A tier, probably below Brett. I thought that he was pretty funny. He had some good jokes, and yeah, he had a lot of good lines. He like was the most abrasive. Is that the word? Like with his, like he was the one that cursed the most and stuff. So definitely very entertaining, a lot of good jokes, and I would give him A tier, I'd say. This is the spy dude from that one episode, so D/F tier, just don't really care for him. I don't know, he was just a spy dude, I guess, and that's all there was to him. He was like very horny, I guess, and yeah. This is the dude that pretended to be Buzz Aldrin. I forgot his name. He was like the guy that was pretending to be Buzz Aldrin after Buzz Aldrin, like I guess, left Earth and stayed on the moon. And he just was trying to expose the truth about, because he got fired from his job of being like Buzz Aldrin. So don't care for him. Once again, just a dude that shows up in like one episode. The Mothman, I will give Mothman C tier. I like his voice actor. The voice actor that voices Mothman, he does a good job. And yeah, he doesn't show up too much, but you know, like the bits that he does show up, he's like not bad or anything. So I'll actually put him above Gigi, I'd say. So yeah, I would say that he was top of C tier. Rand Ridley, I would give him I'll say like top of B tier. He has like one of the best designs. I really like his character design here. Like he has like this nice robe and stuff, and he's like unshaved, like not shaven and stuff. So it's all good, but I do think that he is a bit I don't like how his character arc goes, kind of, where I mentioned this in my review, where at the end of season 2 in the second to last episode, it's like he's very much obsessed with trying to find a timeline where both Tomiko and Reagan both love him, but then the episode right before that, it's like he does not make an effort at all when he goes on his date with Tomiko, and then Alpha Beta ends up like wooing Tomiko, but then Rand gets upset about this, but it's like Rand himself is like seen to not put in the effort to try to repair his relationship with Tomiko, so it's like I can't feel bad for him, really, and he's just so obsessed with like getting back with his wife, which I just don't care about. So yeah, I did think it was like kind of emotional towards the end, where it's like where it was revealed that he was trying to like do it all for his family. I just don't think it was like deserved, like to get up to that point. I thought it was like not great. So Reagan, I would give Reagan I'd go like, what I say, A tier. She was a fine protagonist. I would say I'll go like bottom of A tier. She was fine. She's the one that we followed the most of, and I don't know, it is a bit repetitive sometimes with her character, where she is very much just the one that is trying to fix everything and stuff, and I don't know, her character doesn't seem to progress too much. Like in the first season, there isn't really much character progress. In the second season also, it's like she is dating Ron, and then she's like just not great at communicating with Ron and stuff, and overall she's a fine character. I don't think she's like maybe I'm being too generous, honestly. I'm gonna bump her down to B tier. I think that just these top 3 characters are just more entertaining, I guess, than Reagan. I thought she was a fine protagonist, like not really one of my favorites, but you know, I guess maybe because we followed her around so much, I got a bit tired of her. Maybe it's also because I rewatched, like my rewatch binge was over the last like 2 days, so maybe I just watched this show too quickly, and because of that, like maybe, I don't know, I just felt like I was spending too much time with her, I guess. So, but anyway, Alpha Beta, I would give Alpha Beta I'd give him like A tier, and I would say above Mike. I thought he was good. I thought he was, he's not really in the first season, he's in the first season, but that's the first episode. The first episode was when Alpha Beta ends up, he was supposed to be the president, but then he ends up like going and he like finds out about the internet and decides he's going to nuke all of the world and stuff. So Yeah, so I thought it was good. Like, he's in the first episode, but then afterwards he doesn't really, he shows up here and there in the first season, like kind of giving Reagan advice, and then in the second season he becomes more prominent here and there, and he kind of like, grows his character, becomes a better character as the show goes on, and is not like suddenly a genocidal robot trying to kill everyone. So I think that is good with it. I like his character progression, so I would say A tier. Ron, I would give Ron like B tier, maybe B tier, like bottom of B tier. Yeah, sure, bottom of B tier. I thought his relationship with Reagan was fine, but it did feel very one-note. It did feel like a lot of the time it was just like, that was the only thing to his character, like that, and he didn't like his job of mind erasing people. And yeah, I thought it was fine, like his relationship, and then Reagan trying to get everyone to like him at the office, that was also fine, but I don't know, feels a bit too like not that deep of a character, which honestly I can say that about like a lot of the characters in the show, which is probably one of the flaws. Like, they don't explore the characters, I guess, as much as maybe I would hope. Like, maybe if they had like backstory episodes for some of the characters, that would have been better. But yeah. By the way, I just realized this is the Reagan I was supposed to rank. This is the robot Reagan, which I would give her like D/F tier, because just once again a character that like shows up in one episode and she's just trying to date the real Brian. Yeah, and that was it. So this is the real Reagan that I was meant to talk about. And I think Reagan, she's also, I'm trying to like come up with reasons to justify putting her in, like, because usually like the protagonist, it's like, usually the protagonist is like one of the best characters of the show, like usually A tier minimum, but Reagan, I don't know, I don't know, maybe I just feel like, I don't know, I think just I watched the show, like, I binged it too quickly, so it's like I just got tired of her character after a bit. Like, she's the one we spend the most time with, and yeah, so maybe that's the reason. Maybe it is just like she has not that deep of a personality, maybe, but she's like obsessed with work and stuff. She's a workaholic, and just overall, I don't know, it's just weird. Like, usually I end up breaking the protagonist, I usually end up breaking them higher, but in this case I guess not. So the Shadow Organization, don't care for them. D/F tier, they are just these rogues that show up in every so often they show up, and we don't end up finding anything about them, like, especially the show, like, it never ended up getting renewed for more seasons. So they ended up ending season 2 off with a cliffhanger of the rogues, and like where they're like teasing, like, oh, like she's only human, implying that they're not human and stuff. So it's like, it is you want to find out more about them, but you never end up doing so. That is kind of annoying. This is, I think, I forgot her name, like Samantha, something like that, from Mike's high school, and she is once again a one episode character that is pretty forgettable and that I do not care for. Yeah, she is just meant to like portray Mike as being a loser, I guess, that in comparison. So yeah. This is Incel Steve. I think that's what his name was, or like Semstel Steve, and then they made a joke about like how he's an incel or something like that. So once again, don't care for him. He's not a one episode character. He shows up here and there, but not really to do anything. So D/F tier. This guy is another character that just works at Cognito Inc. The Stonehead guy that just this isn't even a character that ends up talking at any point. So D/F tier. Brian, once again, D/F tier. Just don't care for him. All these characters, they were fine in the context of their episodes, but as like actual characters, it's like I can't rate them any higher, because most of them are meant to be like these one episode throwaway characters. So that's why there are so many D/F tiers. Like, look here, one episode, one episode, I guess not one, but like pretty much one. It feels like not one, I guess one. Like, there's so many characters in the D/F tier that they just don't show up enough for me to rank them higher. So yeah, Andre, I would give him like I'd say A tier, and I'd say he's my favorite character. I like him the most. He was very entertaining, like as this like guy that's like addicted to drugs and stuff. And yeah, it was good. And anytime that there was a scene with him like doing chemistry or whatever, like when he switches Glenn and Brett's face, I thought it was good. And so overall, I thought he was probably my favorite character. I'd say him and Glenn, I think those are my two favorite characters. I don't think they were not S tier. I would not say that any characters in the show I would really call S tier, but I do think that they were my favorites. So and then finally we have Keanu Reeves, who was not included in this tier, but I did end up including him. And now that I included him, I realized there was no real point to include him, because I was just going to give him D/F tier. I like Keanu Reeves as an actor, but in the episode, it was just, he's a vampire that wanted to suck Tomiko's blood, and then yeah, that was the episode. So he ends up fighting Reagan for a bit, and then at the end of the episode, he reveals like, no, he wants to be with Tomiko. He's like not willing to. He's fine not being immoral if it means he can be with Tomiko. And Tomiko's like weirded out because he's a vampire, I guess. So she ends up leaving him anyway. And that was, yeah, once again, just a one episode character that just is forgettable after that one episode. So I don't know if I would even say like forgettable. It's just that the one episode is, I guess, none of these characters in the one episode that they were in, they didn't do enough of a job to really like, they weren't, I guess, written well enough for me to rank them any higher, I guess. So yeah, overall, yeah, these rankings in general, it's always just like my opinion. It's not meant to be like, I try to like a lot of the time, like I even talked about like my friend about this. Like he's like, why do you like do this based on numbers and stuff? It's like I always tell him, it's like, this is always my opinion. Like that when in the reviews and stuff, all the ranking, the numbers and the calculations I do, it's meant to be a baseline score for like what I'm thinking, but I always end up giving my actual opinion. I'll say like, oh, that's a bit low, I'll give it a bit higher. It's like, that's a bit high, I'll give it a bit lower. Also, the ranking for these characters, it's always like, it's what I think, it's my opinion of these characters, but I always try to like justify it. So like with Reagan, the reason like I talked about her a bit more is because like usually the protagonist I would end up giving higher than A tier, but me personally, like I just don't think I would rate her, I would not call her an A tier character. I just personally, like in my mind, I'm thinking like it feels wrong to put her in A tier, so I'm putting her in B tier. So you know, it's kind of rare to put the protagonist in lower than A tier, but you know, that's the case for this. So yeah, so what are you gonna do about it? This is my opinion, and is what I am going with. So yeah, but that is pretty much all there is to it. So if you have any recommendations, any shows, movies, video game stories, anime, web series, anything that you want me to review or rank or compare rankings, it does not have to be media related. It can be anything. Leave it in the comments and I will maybe possibly check it out. But with that said, that is pretty much all there is to it. So let's leave it at that.